Wolfing, yo. Damn. Talk to me, yo. We didn't get no drinks, yo. Talk to me. I'm waiting for YouTube to send out some notifications that I am officially live. Here, my man, Bazuma TV, Bazuma Nation. What's good, Mark?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Uh, I've been a little better. I'm disappointed in one of my young boys, uh, Keyshawn. I really like Keyshawn,
Oh, you over there, right?
bro. Yes, for anybody watching, I am
Oh
in
my
Virginia.
fucking
I,
god!
I took the 5 hour trip. Keyshawn Davis, Nair Albright, one of my other young boys, Naeem Parker, another young boy, Yuri Cedeno, my guys. That I drove down there to see him, wanted to support him, show him some love. Uh, Keyshawn Davis misses weight, 4.3 pounds. Now I'm hearing the fight is officially off. I talked to Samson. I talked to Brad Goodman. I interviewed Samson. I didn't interview Brad, but they both kind of told me that, like, you know how people think, like, oh, they just gonna pay him some money and that's gonna be it. They both kind of alluded to, like, yeah, like, we ain't sure this thing gonna happen, and it looks like PBC chose not to continue. Now, for everybody, I'll let you explain to them when you miss weight, Mark. You go ahead.
I mean, first of all, man, I feel bad as hell for you for even going down there. I mean, that's still some good fights and people to support, but damn, bro, I f- I know that's an unfortunate situation. But you want me to touch on like what happens when fighters miss weight?
What happens when fighters miss weight? Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely disappointing. Fortunately, I haven't had that problem thus far in my career, but like it's happened to us. You know what I'm saying? Where like guys are coming in 5, 6 pounds overweight, and we've had fights canceled as a result of that. Like I remember going all the way back to when we used to work with Rasheed Johnson, Sugar Sheed, and he was supposed to fight Vinny Floyd. You know Vinny Floyd?
Yeah, I know Vinny Floyd.
I remember like this was years ago. This was probably like 2019 where they had a 147-pound contract. And I think it was like plus one. So like the highest you could come is 148, obviously. And Vinny Floyd came in 154 pounds. And we were still willing to take the fight, but the commission didn't allow it because of how high in weight he was. We were told we were in different weight classes, so it's definitely disappointing, man. When you putting in a 6 to 8 week training camp and you seeing the results of your fighter, you see everything coming together, and we sitting in the gym formulating game plans and watching film, and these fighters make a lot of sacrifices, man. Especially how the way I see Edwin De Los Santos, he put his all into that camp. He might have gave it too much, to be honest with you, because
He
he looked
he looked.
terrible.
Yeah, he
I'm
didn't
gonna be
look.
honest with you. Like I love Delos Santos, bro. I love what he brings to the game, but he already had hella disadvantages coming into the fight, bro. Like you talking about a multi-year layoff. He coming off of a loss at that, blood clot situations, and bro, Keyshawn literally caught him at his lowest point in his career thus far. And like, if he would have missed it by like 1 pound, I'm like, all right, well, like, Keyshawn tried. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like you coming in 4.3. What was that? 4.3?
4.3. Samson told me it was 4.9, but he might have been hyping it. But yeah,
Okay.
4.3.
4.3, 4.9, whatever the case is, bro, that's like you ain't even tried for real. And like to be honest with you, man, like I kind of seen this coming, not exactly in this way, but I was anticipating that Keyshawn Davis would, find a way to, go up to 140 or whatever the case is. You've been hearing his interviews, him and talking about how he want TO and you know, but what also confused me was in interviews you saying the whole camp he was walking around at 146. So if you walking around 146, that's not that bad of a cut. Mill, you see how much
Yeah.
these fighters be cutting down in weight to get ready for fights and they make it happen. And Keyshawn didn't look like he had a tough cut against Baranchek. So I'm trying to see exactly like what went wrong. I just feel like Keyshawn didn't honestly try, to be honest with you. Like I don't know if he's because I see people like alluding to the fact that maybe he's just trying to find a way to go up to 140. I mean, he could have did that while retaining his title. You see what I'm saying? So completely unprofessional, man. Bad. If he is the businessman, man, that's bad business over there. And he can't blame anybody but himself. And was disrespectful more than anything is that if anybody had an excuse to miss weight, it's De Los Santos. To be
Mm.
honest with you, that man came in underweight. He was like 134.7. Came in under the weight. He looked like I said, it looked like it took a lot out of him to do that. Just based off of how the way he looked. Or you didn't even take it upon yourself to, come in prepared. It's terrible, bro. It's terrible.
For anybody that doesn't know about boxing, is you are paid to be ready to fight. Edwin doesn't have to fight to be paid. You are paid to weigh in and be ready to fight. And so in this particular situation, Edwin De Los Santos is going to get his money. And so that's why this is it's just a fucked up situation because now Top Rank is out, whatever Evans will get 600, 800, or whatever, however much. And normally you see some of the times these fights go on because both guys will be in the same promotional company. But the reality is Edwin is a PBC fighter. And so they don't owe Top Rank anything. So the sense of like, look, we ain't letting our guy go in there 5 pounds. Um, at a 5 pound disadvantage, we got what we came for. Everybody's gonna get paid.
Facts.
And
And I
so
mean,
that's good.
and he deserves it. I mean, he deserves it, bro. If anybody deserves to get, to lose a check in this situation, it's Keyshawn Davis, man. And he should be embarrassed, bro. Like this is supposed to be like your hometown. Like you coming to your hometown to defend your world title. They bigging it up. Your brothers fighting on the card. Everybody seemed to be a professional except you, and you supposed to be the one leading the way for DB3. You supposed to be leading the way for your city. They all coming out to see you. Now that people like, damn, there's people that's probably specifically coming for him, and they like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, is there any way I could get my money back? Like, that's a messy situation, man. That's a
It,
very messy
it
situation.
like you said, there's some people that came literally just for Keyshawn. People that booked hotel rooms, bought tickets, etc. Now it just so happened with me, I got like 3 or 4 kids on this card that I can't wait to see fight. And I'm gonna go. They my guys, along with Keyshawn. I'm more disappointed in Key than angry. Like I'm not gonna bash him or nothing like that. It's just younger man, older man, younger man. There's certain ways that you go about things, and this is a teachable moment where don't feel like you're bigger than boxing.
Yeah.
You could have told Top Rank, you could have you know, they could have worked out a deal ahead of time to where as though now they don't gotta pay Edmund 600,000. And
Mhm.
it could have been handled differently. And going forward, Keyshawn needs to handle things differently.
Right. This could have easily been communicated. Like Keyshawn or his team could have reached out to De Los Santos team and like, hey, listen, man, like we having a tough time getting this weight down. Is there any way, we can actually move this up to 40? Like I've seen that happen where like fighters they feel like they can make the weight initially and then, once they get to the last few pounds, they feel like it's really taken from them. So, they communicate and most of the time it works out. Like I've seen Adrian Broner do it where he like
We
initially scheduled a 140-pound contest, and then he'll reach out and try to see if they could get some type of like you know push it up to welterweight or whatever the case is. Like I've seen that happen. So missing weight is never a good thing, but unfortunately, things like that may happen, especially if you're like growing or you haven't, once you get up in age and that weight not so easy to cut anymore. Could have been communicated. That could have went a lot more professionally than that. But yeah, hopefully it's like a teaching moment. And to Keyshawn, I hope that he learned, respect the game, bro. Gotta
My
respect the
man,
game.
Twin Lumar, appreciate the $5 super chat. Said he didn't try. He wanted the 4.3 to bully Edwin and add shin insurance. And wait, what was the next one? He said, ain't nobody going to cut 4.3 pounds anyway from 35 the night before the weigh-ins and attempt to lose it the rest of the morning of the weigh-in. Yo, I see some people criticizing Edwin for not taking the fight. Here's the reality. Edwin and Keyshawn came to terms on an agreement. Edwin abided by those terms. Keyshawn didn't.
Right.
Right? Yes, he could have fought, but you can't be mad at him for not. You're already going into somebody's hometown.
Mm-hmm.
He's already the bigger man. He's already the active man. And Keyshawn is a very fucking good and dangerous fucking fighter. So you're already behind the 8 ball. And now you're going to give him a 5-pound allowance? That's how people get hurt. And we're the ones, we're watching it. It's our entertainment, but these are people's lives and these are people's livelihood. And
Right.
Lisa says Edwin could have fought. Devin would have pulled out the Ryan fight. People would have bashed Haney. I agree, but look what happened when Devin didn't.
Yeah,
That's
because
why.
when Devin lost, they said he was done for following through with the fight.
So
For him coming in overweight. I remember that clearly.
exactly, and that's my issue with boxing fans is that if you do go and fight him and it goes bad, you dumb. If you don't, you're a bitch. Come on,
Right.
y'all. We got to do better. We have to do better.
The reality is, either way that Edwin would have went about it is justifiable because Keyshawn made that mistake. It is what it is. If he chooses to not fight, that's Keyshawn's fault. If he decides to fight, then that's his prerogative to do so. I'm not going to criticize Edwin either way. Like you said, he abided by the agreement. He did what he needed to do. Keyshawn didn't. They even tried to work out a situation. Keyshawn and them didn't want to cooperate, so the fight canceled. Abdullah Mason, the main event. It is what it is.
Yeah. This is something, like I said, this is going to be a teachable moment for Key. Think about it. This is hometown fight. All your peoples came through, your mom, like old heads that you fuck with, celebrities, like all eyes was on you. You the champ. You making your first defense. And Keyshawn is a very prideful kid. So I know he's feeling this shit right now. I know in his mind he thought that they'd be able to work out a deal. But the reality is, Edwin De Los Santos is a PBC fighter. Top rank can't shelf him because that's how shit goes, right? You don't want to go ahead and take this fight, even though dude miss weight, you gonna have us miss out on all this fucking money. Like I got something for you. They can't do shit to him. Nothing. He's
At
a
all.
PBC fighter.
Yeah.
So he literally gets to make money just for making weight. That's it. He doesn't even have to fight for his bread.
Yeah.
And so this is just a terrible situation, man.
It
Terrible
definitely
situation.
is. And the fact that you think that Samson Lewis, who done been around the block for years, is gonna let you, when you already have multiple advantages, get them additional advantages and put his fighter in jeopardy and fuck his money up, you crazy. You ain't gonna do that. And if you want, and if you want to have them advantages going forward, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny. And obviously they didn't want to follow through with that. So Samson Luka is an experienced guy. Like I said, he done been around the block before, so he not about to let nobody get one up on him. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, this is just and I'm pretty sure that was a Samson, Al Heyman, Louis DeCubas call. Like, that either it was one of those situations where shit, we can bring Edwin back on Pacquiao and Barrios. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's already down in weight. So
Yeah. So yeah, I mean he's already down in weight. I would take this as a sign to move up for Edwin. In all honesty, um, 35 look like it killed him. I don't know if he cut weight the wrong way or what, or
I
he
think
just
it's got
held.
something to do with him holding you know, when fighters been out of camp for so long, you're holding your walk around weight, and then you shock your body and then drop fucking 20, 30 pounds.
Yeah, but there are times where if you hold that weight too long, you pretty much I call it like eating yourself out of the weight class. That might have been what happened to Edwin. He probably never be able to make 35 the same again because he held that weight for so long.
That was a good fight. That was a fight I was looking forward to. Fight that I was looking forward to. Hold on 1 second. Keep the stream going.
All right, all right. Let's check out the comments. They canceled the fight. Actually, yep, they definitely canceled the fight. Shout out
Yeah,
to
now the card's still going on. Like you can still watch Abdullah, you can still watch Keon. It's a bunch of great fights on there. It's just this particular one. All right, so my man DILA7, boxing, get rid of weight cutting, ban it. Like one championship where you only weigh in fully rehydrated. If you're dehydrated on a urine test, no fight. That's interesting. That's interesting.
if that's the case, you're gonna see a whole lot of people relinquishing titles and moving up divisions. The day that
Your 47s is gonna be 60 pounders.
happened.
Cruiserweights is gonna be heavyweights. 35s is gonna be 47s. Like
It's gonna be a whole bunch of vacant titles, bro.
a lot of your favorite fighters, yeah, gonna be fighting 2, 3 weight classes up.
I remember the PA State Athletic Commission was talking about pushing same day weigh-ins. Like, damn, like the amateurs. I'm like, man,
Oh
ain't
wait,
nobody gonna fight in PA. They do that.
all those 4 and 5 division champions that they be talking about, 2 divisions.
Yeah, facts. I said, man, you must not want any big events to happen in PA if you enforce that rule. They
Hey Lisa,
all
what you got against Abdullah? Abdullah's the goods. What you
wait,
got
what?
against him?
Wait, what he say?
No, Lisa keeps criticizing Edwin and throwing shade at Abdullah. What you got against Dula, yo? Dula's a fucking problem, yo. I don't know what. Man, look,
Abdullah Mason, the
I
truth.
believe in. I believe in Abdullah like I believe in Boots.
They share some similarities
Hey,
now.
G,
I
you
mean,
gonna be?
obviously. Wait,
Yeah.
what happened?
No, I was saying, G, you gonna be able to hop on later? Go,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead, Mark.
yeah. No, I'm saying they share some similarities in terms of like, they got that athleticism, the power, what I mean, the combinations. I see why you hold them to that regard because Abdullah definitely the truth. And when he had gotten dropped them 2 times in that one round and he act like nothing happened, bro, his composure is on a different level. His maturity is on a different level. His ability to stay calm and still be able to listen to his corner and not panic when he's in the fire, like I found that to be very impressive, bro. And his punch placement was top tier. Man, he got a little bit of everything, bro. Like and that's why I thought it was ridiculous when and I'm gonna talk about this on the live later, but like Keyshawn Davis was on here, but he was pressing Abdullah, and I'm like, man, I don't know if Abdullah lines up with what Keyshawn necessarily wants in his career. I thought that was just like a promotional tactic, in all honesty, because like I said, I'm watching previous interviews. And he talking about T.O. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, I'll move up to fight T.O.
Mm.
I'm about to move up to 140 anyway. Yeah, I want to move up to
All right,
140. Then you calling out
let
Abdullah, so it's like it
let's
sounds like you're
let's.
a little bit indecisive right now, brother. I don't know.
All right, Mark. Let's talk about that real fast. And Rob's in the back, and Rob wants to hop on.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
let's talk about that.
yeah.
Keyshawn said that he was moving up to 140 anyway,
Right.
right after this fight. But
Mm-hmm.
then he calls out Abdullah on the press conference. To me, that didn't make sense. Like, what
At
did
all.
you do that for? You did it to.
He
to kind
did.
of like try to chump the young boy, try to embarrass him. Like I didn't
He just
like.
tried to stir the pot, bro. I think he did
Yeah,
that for a viral moment. He did that to bring more attention to himself. Cause
and my only issue with him, old head the young boy, is that you got your viral moment, but then at the same time, now you're going to get backlash because you admitted that that wasn't your intention. So people are going to label you as, oh, that's you pump faking. That's
right,
that's how you're going to be viewed as when you say something you don't necessarily mean it.
right,
And I don't look at Keyshawn that way, but in that particular moment, that's what you did. You had no intention of returning to 135, so there was no reason to do that.
right. And even if let's say he was serious, Top Rank ain't letting that fly this soon anyway. To be honest with you,
Man, bro, I asked Bob, he was like, "What are you talking about? That fight isn't ready for
exactly,
another 1 to 2 years." I'm like, so
exactly.
so Bob, when fighters want to fight and you know that it doesn't align with the schedule, like what do? I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna talk to both guys and tell them it doesn't make sense.
At all, and that's all they care about, whether it makes sense or not. And if it don't make sense, and I was talking to my homie about it, and I'm like, yo, look at it this way, because I already knew Keyshawn was gonna move up. Like I said, I didn't think he would miss weight, but I knew, in my mind, I already knew he was gonna move up to 140 and try to enforce like a mandatory for Tio. That's what I think he was gonna do. But I was saying, why would Top Rank have Abdullah and Keyshawn fight this early when Keyshawn could move up, try to get a belt at 40, and then Abdullah could fight for the vacant title? Why would they cash one of their guys out when they can make both of them champions and make money off of both of them? They don't even that fight don't make sense at all right now. You know what I mean? And I know fans may want that fight, but it's very rare if you know the promoter and the fans on the same type of time. Like fans be wanting things right away, and promoters be like, man, this fight ain't gonna happen right now because I'm not gonna make my return on investment, or at least
Facts.
make the money that I'm looking for at this point in time. If I'm investing X amount of dollars on this guy and I don't surpass what I put into this guy, that's a bad investment. So
Facts.
yeah,
Mark, I appreciate you hopping on. Rob's in the back. Let me know if you going live later. I'll hop on. This is a hot button topic, and I wish you cover it. Want to give you a take in, a long form. Pause.
yeah, we definitely gonna chop it up on the live later on tonight, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mazuma TV. I appreciate you very much, Mill. I'll holler at you down. All right,
I appreciate you. Subscribe to Mazuma TV, y'all.
appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
All right, subscribe to Mazuma TV. If 353 people in here, only 68 likes. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button, y'all. We not shitting on nobody tonight, but we having real boxing talk. I'm not that unless you talking race stuff, bro. I'm not gonna bash you, but I feel like Key dropped the ball on this one, and Key's better than that. All right, so right now we got an expert coming. Paul.
Yo,
Key's better. We have strength and
go.
conditioning coach extraordinaire Rob Acasta. Trained many of the world champions that you love, whether it's Stephen Fulton, Jerron Ennis, Jermaine Ortiz. He's worked with them all, right? Rob, what's your thoughts on Keyshawn missing weight 4.3 pounds? And give me the whole process of making weight and give me your expert opinion on what happened.
um, how you want me to break this down? How you want me to break this down?
Go ahead.
Like, you want me to be like,
4.3. Like how do you miss weight by 4.3 pounds?
you wasn't trying to lose it? You know what I'm saying? Like, um, how long? All right, let's backtrack a little bit. So when you have a guy, um, when you reach a certain point in your career, it's not it's not realistic for someone to say, um, my body can't make the weight anymore just because, like, say if you're a workhorse, right? You're a workhorse, you working, you do everything you got to do, right? You're off camp, you still are active and everything else. Once you fight and take the break, most fighters fuck up because they let their weight get so high and then they don't work out at all. Like they won't show up back into the gym. They won't run, they won't do a lot of shit. So let's just say if a person fights at 135, they're going to start walking around at 180. So then it don't matter how much time you have in between camps. It gets harder the older you get. So let's just say you're fighting 10, 12 rounds, right? Fights now. How many of those you're fighting per year? How many fights would a fighter fight 10, 12 rounds a year?
2.
2 at minimum.
2, maybe 3.
What, three
Yeah, 2,
maximum?
maybe 3. Yeah, I'll
3
say 3
maximum?
maximum.
All right.
Yeah.
So you have to, that's 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks in between. So basically we can agree that most of the year you're walking around at a high weight. Then you're dropping the weight. Then you're going up. Then you're dropping the weight. Then you're going up. And you're dropping the weight. So when you get to a high weight and you don't do absolutely nothing about it, then your body becomes at a standstill. So yeah, it does get harder to cut the weight, but it's no one's fault but yours. You understand what I'm saying? So if you don't stay active, even if you finish fighting, you want to go celebrate, you want to take a week off, cool, that's fine. But most guys don't even go back to the gym to do nothing. They just eat, and whatever the extra shit that they do. So now their weight going up 30, 40 pounds, and you're trying to cut that in like 6, 8 weeks. What are we talking about? It don't make sense. So in reality, he can't sit there and tell me, "Oh, I've been struggling to make the weight." Why you been struggling to make the weight? Like, are you struggling to make the weight because you are cutting the weight improper, or you not eating the right stuff, or you not recovering the right amount of time you're supposed to recover? Like, what exactly is happening? I'm not buying that bullshit, bro. Like, I'm not buying that a person gets to a certain weight and says, "Oh, I can't make the weight no more. I gotta move on." No, it all starts from you being at a really, really high weight, and then now it's more difficult to cut because of your um, malicious ways of just eating.
Now, don't fighters grow though?
Yeah, they do. But why was it that it's okay when fighters grow? They grow in a sense of like when they start this bull. They start growing when it's like lifting. Like, so if they lift or they working out or they doing something like that, yeah, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because they're growing mass, they're adding muscle mass, they're becoming lean mass and everything else. But if your body, say you fight at 147 pounds, but you walk around 190, what are we gonna really say it's growing, or the fact that you're just not maintaining what you're supposed to maintain to really cut the weight all the way back down to 147 pounds, or 100 or 135 or 130, whatever the fuck it is? Most guys, they walk around big, really, really, really big, and they don't come down. Mayweather, walked around maximum,
In the
10
50.
pounds, 10 pounds over
Yeah,
his
in the
weight
50.
limit. Never had a problem.
Yeah, you're right.
Never had a problem. Bernard never had a problem. Most of these guys, they chose to go up because the level of competition is like, all right, ain't nothing left for me here to accomplish. Now I'm gonna move up. That makes sense. But don't blame the weight, bro. Don't blame the weight. If you can't make the weight, that's because you are either doing several things wrong. You're probably eating wrong. You're probably losing the weight wrong. You're just getting too high. You're taking too like it's too late to start the camp and cutting the weight. It's too much. What the fuck can you do?
All right, my man EA said unprofessional and inconsiderate of business partners, family, friends, fans, media that spent hard-earned money for this event. Did he apologize to everyone? Not that I know of yet, but he could have. I've been on live for 30 minutes. Uh, it was definitely a buzz for this fight.
Mm-hmm.
Edwin De Los Santos can rumble. Edwin De Los Santos has upset the apple cart before.
Mm-hmm.
Edwin De Los Santos had a boring but close fight with Shakur Stevenson, and people wanted to see would Keyshawn be the guy that would decisively beat Edwin.
Yeah.
Keyshawn had been riding the high. He's just coming off of destructive performances, and this is going to be a strike on McKee. Not
Mm-hmm.
just because he missed the weight, but because he didn't let people know what was going on.
See, that's
And
another
that's
thing.
just a lesson of mature. That's a lesson of maturity.
Yeah. I agree with that too. Like, according to like sources, no one knew he was overweight. So who you got to blame for that? That goes back to exactly what I was saying earlier. So you fucking it up. You fucking up the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, you mean to tell me throughout the whole course of your camp, you was nowhere near communicating with your team to say, "Yo, I'm over," or no one even asked? Either someone asked and he lied, or no one asked and he just kept it moving.
And from being around y'all, I know fighters are sensitive about their weight. It's
hundred
probably
percent.
the number one thing that fighters are sensitive about. Some dudes don't even ask them about their weight, bro, because they are going to get really, really pissed.
It's funny too because when you ask a
Maybe,
fighter about his weight, he'll always give you a number that ends with a zero. Like, yeah,
yeah,
I'm like 140. I'm like 150. I'm 160. They never hit you with like, yeah, I'm
bro,
like 68. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yo, but like with you, like you didn't, and I got this from Samson because Samson said he didn't know.
Hmm.
Samson said he found out literally on stage. I feel like this could have been a situation where it could have been worked out. Like, yeah, it might not have been for the title,
Hmm.
but you let Edwin know, like, shit. Oh, I can eat. We doing this at 40. Okay, well, if we doing it at 40, throw me some extra cheese, and then we can get it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this one, you cut all the way down, and this dude comes in at 4.3, and they're like, "Yo, you gonna try to burn it off?" And he like, "Nah." So you had a real disadvantage because Keyshawn is a full balanced breakfast. He can
Yeah.
punch, he got boxing skills, speed, time, like he got it all.
Hmm.
But you gonna fight a dude like that in his hometown,
Yeah.
giving away 5 pounds, and you think something bad ain't gonna happen?
Yeah. It's 5 pounds. It's basically like a whole nother weight class.
Yes.
I'm not. I get tired of people saying, "Oh, I'm struggling to make the weight." That's just as baloney. You know what I mean? Like, it just
Mhm.
doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you stay in shape throughout the course of the year, you shouldn't have a problem because at the end of the day, your metabolic rate does decline. Like, it is harder to lose weight as it goes. But if you're fighting 10, 12 rounds, 2, 3 times a year, that's a whole year that a person's not being active. So what are you doing in the whole year then? And I'm not saying
Mhm.
I'm not. You know what it is too, though, bro. Like, in a sense, it's kind of like fighters sacrifice their weight, and they do so much sacrificing throughout the years from amateurs all the way to the pros that when they don't have a fight coming up, they like, man, if I ain't got to do it, I ain't gonna do it. You've been doing it for so long. But I got like a problem with with a lot of stuff with this. I don't like the finger pointing on the I can't make the weight, right? Something went wrong with you cutting the weight and you couldn't make the weight. That's just basically what it is. Now, if you are cutting the weight and you're losing muscle to lose the weight, then yeah, obviously I wouldn't suggest you continue to lose because you can't replace that. But is that is you was talking crazy. You know what I mean? Like you talk crazy to Abdullah. You was like it was just crazy, bro. Like God has a way of humbling everybody. So I don't know if this is one of those situations, but it's messed up because a lot of people was looking forward to this fight. A lot of people, this is your hometown, so you just made yourself look bad in your own hometown. You got two other brothers fighting on this card, and you're the lead example. And this is the unprofessionalism that you conducted yourself with on a high platform stage. You ain't even let nobody know. Like, who does that? Bro, that's like me and you, right? That's like me and you, a couple people, we all decide to go out to eat. We all agree to go out to eat. We all say, yo, we're gonna go eat, and then we're celebrating something. We get to a certain restaurant, and then the bill comes, and I'm like, listen, bro, I ain't got no money. I tell you there. I tell you when the bill's already there. I didn't tell you before we left. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told you when we got there. Like, yo, I ain't got it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up because he has great talent. Like he does. He has great talent. But what was it?
Yo.
We're in June, right? So how many fighters from last June to this June lost on the scale? Adrian Broner did it. I'm not saying within this year, but Adrian Broner did it. Ryan did it. Tank did it. Like, how many people we doing this?
Benavidez.
Now, what do they all have in common?
Yeah. Edgar Berlanga. It's been a lot of guys.
And what do they all have in common?
Walk around heavy.
There you go. Stop walking around so heavy.
My man G said that he's hearing that Edwin's getting his full purse. Yes, he's getting his full purse. According to Edwin's promoter and Top Rank, I talked to them both literally right after this happened. Edwin's getting paid.
It just sucks, bro.
And so, and
It sucks. It really does suck. And you know what? I've seen what it takes. I've seen it firsthand. And I've seen it in different places where I see a fighter start camp and then not take their weight serious until it's like 4 weeks left. Now you're rushing to lose like 25, 30 pounds, and then you're gonna sit there and not take accountability for it. That's fucking insane. But the fact that no one knew about it is what's bothering me. Like, I would like to know why no one knew. Is it because you didn't want to say anything, or did no one ask?
you went in and out, Rob.
I didn't do anything. I didn't even move.
No, I'm saying your voice went in and out. We didn't catch the last thing that you said.
I need base. I need base. I don't have any base.
Bro. Hey, Lisa, I do agree that this could be a good thing for Key going forward. It's just that right now he's going to have to take this criticism. There's a lot of criticism going to come his way. A lot of people that were high on him going to shit on him. That's just how this game goes. I'm not going to be one of them. People don't realize that me and Key already we had we had a little issue with each other, and I seen him in Madison Square Garden. We addressed each other and we talked it out. One thing I do respect about him is that you got a lot of guys that won't tell you how they feeling to their face. They'll go on Twitter and do shit like that. No, we we came to an understanding, but he told me how he felt. I told him how I felt. And as a man, I respected him for that.
Yeah.
And I know he respected me because I'm the one that sought him out, not that he pulled up on me. I heard he was there, went looking for him, was like, yo, let's talk.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I was kind of excited about this fight.
Real good fight.
It would have been a really good fight. It would have been a good fight. But now what though? Now what happens? Let's just say, all right. Let's just play with some scenarios here. Let's say he goes up to 40. His power not the same. The power that he absorbs from other shots isn't the same. What's your move now? You're gonna go back down to 30, the weight that 35, and the weight that you said you can't make no more.
No,
What?
my first call was with Rob Acasta.
Ah,
Let's get in the gym. We gotta get in the gym.
what's gonna
You know what
happen?
I'm saying?
What's gonna happen if you struggling at 40? You gonna go up to 47? When are we gonna stop using the excuse of like, oh, I just can't make the weight no more because I'm growing. Like, no, bro, like your height, growth, and everything else just it stopped as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happens is that your body's changing, and it sometimes it gets a little bit more harder to lose the weight. But if that's the case, make your adjustments and stay in shape. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Twin. Twin says, appreciate the $5 super chat, bro. Keyshawn didn't want to go to sleep in front of his hometown. Twin, come on, brother. Like, I don't think that Key's scared. I don't think that
I don't think
he did this to get out of the fight. I think that he just didn't want to cut, and he thought that because he was the A side, that Edwin was just going to take a couple dollars and then rumble him, and it didn't go the way that he wanted it to go.
yeah. It's just corny
That's it.
because, bro, this is your first. You just got crowned.
Yeah, I wanted to see him.
Like,
I
bro,
wanted to see
what?
him in his hometown. Like, yeah, man.
You know what that's like, bro? That's like when you get your income tax money and you buy a Benz, and then April they come tow it.
Go ask mom if she ready to dip. Just go ask your mom if she ready to dip.
You hear what I'm saying, bro? That's like, listen,
Yeah,
that's like you buying a car with your income tax money, and then it gets repoed in 4 months.
yeah.
What, man?
Yo, salute to Edwin for doing what he was supposed to do. For Key, we all go through stuff like this as men. We all fuck up. We all make mistakes.
We do.
Got to
Yeah,
learn from it. Got to learn from it. Going forward, if you're going to be a professional, you got to handle things a certain way. And that would be my message to him. If I see him later, if I see him tomorrow, I'll pull him aside like, yo, like you don't want your wounds to be self-inflicted. And right now he's had 2 self-inflicted wounds.
yeah.
Like you don't want that.
My
Like
advice.
if you're gonna go ahead.
Go. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying if stuff's gonna happen, you don't want it to be you that did it. And
Yeah,
a lot of times it's us that hurt ourselves. I've done it plenty of times, Rob. I know you've done it.
yeah,
And I only want the best for these kids, and I want them to learn from my mistakes and shit that I fucked up on.
yeah. Yeah, I think my advice, if I were to ever talk to him, it just would be something short and simple. Like, you would never have to worry about if you just stood in shape throughout the course of the year. You would never have to worry about weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna eat, if you're gonna have a crazy eating day and you eat all kinds of shit, take a whole day and just dedicate yourself to say, all right, let me go run like 3 miles real quick and try to burn some of the salt. Flush it down with water. Don't drink soda. You know what I mean? Like, you can easily, the human body's amazing, bro. You can make it do whatever you want. He can make the weight, bro. He can. I don't know, buddy.
I'm reading some of the comments. My man said he was partying on IG. He was at concerts and everything while Edwin was in the lab. I don't know. I didn't see it, but um, he got to grow from this, man. Yeah,
Yeah, but
you had
also
the
too,
mistake.
bro. If he was out there partying, cool. He's supposed to. He's he's allowed to do that. But
You just got what you
don't
said. You
act
just got to handle your
crazy
business,
and then
right?
don't go back to it. Like that doesn't make sense, bro. How you eat like I'm not saying. I'm assuming. Let's just say you ate shit for like 7 days. You know how hard it is to go back that following Monday. They'd be like, all right, I'm back in here. Give me 2 weeks.
Man. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep it a bean, right? These young boys eat like shit because when I was a young boy, I ate like shit.
Yeah.
I was an athlete too, and when you super active, right? You eat like shit, and you think, yo, I'm just gonna go out there and just run and shake this shit off, and the food that's not good for you, the shit is delicious. I get it, yo. Them platters be doing it to me, Rob. Pause.
Yeah.
Extra rice, extra gravy. Oh, yeah, I'm that boy, yo. Oxtails, all that.
I don't like gravy.
You wild for that.
What do you want me to say? I don't like gravy. Would you
Yeah, but
consider?
um,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Rob.
You know when you're in a Puerto Rican household, right? Like I'm sure you've been to plenty of our events, and you got
Yeah.
the beans and you got the sauce from the beans. Would you consider that gravy? Is that our version of
No,
gravy?
but it's funny that you bring that up because my girl is not a gravy person and
I'm not
she's
a gravy
mixed.
person.
So now it makes sense. Y'all just
Yeah,
don't like gravy.
yeah. I
But
just
we
don't.
were
I'm not.
raised on gravy. Gravy
I
is
don't.
a
I'm not.
part of our
Yeah,
gravy is a part of this. It's here.
yeah. I hear you.
You
I don't.
really not though. You really not. You're
I
not
hear you.
okay
I
with
hear
rice
you.
and gravy.
I just can't. No, rice and gravy. That's a no no.
Gravy does go on rice. You hear this shit, y'all?
I listen.
Gravy does go on rice.
What kind? How much gravy are we talking? We talking about like a soup kind of rice?
It the- huh?
Like you know how when you pour just a little bit to make it that little consistency, or you gonna make that shit look like a soup?
No, it's not. It's in between soup and what you talking about. It's
The
in
way the
between.
way that you're looking at rice and gravy is the way that you would look at us for putting ketchup on rice.
Who the fuck puts ketchup on rice?
Every Puerto Rican on earth.
Yo, what the fuck is wrong with
That
y'all?
shit is slamming, especially if you put an egg on the side. Oh man, forget about
Y'all, wow, man.
it.
Yo, your people should have took you down south, man. You gotta get in touch with your black side to get your rice and gravy, yo.
um,
Yo, all right. Rob, I appreciate you hopping on. We about to grab dinner and salvage this weekend. Appreciate you giving us the expertise. Key, I don't know who your strength conditioning coach is, but Rob Acosta's he's always around.
yeah, get with me. Yo, it's a shame. I feel bad, Keyshawn, or if anybody watching, bro. Just be smarter next time, bro.
Yeah, man. That's my young boy too.
Hey, yo,
Well,
before you
Abdullah,
go,
another kid I love.
let me ask you a question. Before you go.
Sure.
What kind of gravy?
What kind of gravy?
What
Brown
kind of
gravy.
gravy would you put on the rice?
Brown gravy.
That's it. That's like, what if you go somewhere and they don't have that kind of gravy?
No, well, you got brown gravy or you got the gravy from whatever you're eating, whether it's
Okay,
like
okay.
pot roast, brisket, oxtails, yeah, all that.
Just pour that.
Yo, my man said mayo on rice, Domingo.
I'm sorry,
Where are you
Domingo. I
from, bro?
rock with that one.
That's different.
Yeah, I
I ain't
can't.
gonna judge it.
Yeah.
I can't fuck with it. But wherever you like, let me know where you from, Domingo. I need to know that.
I don't. I don't like. No mayo on
Yo,
rice.
EA said he was in juvenile joints with the Rican homies. Ketchup on rice is y'all shit.
Yeah, I told you, bro. I grew up with that shit.
Yo, wow
We
for
put
that,
that
yo.
shit. Listen, you get this egg with a sunny side up egg with some white rice. You put some ketchup on that bitch. You make it over.
Yeah, yo.
I'm about to make some right now.
Y'all different.
I'm about to make some
Yo,
right now.
wow.
Is
Yo,
what? I'm about to make some right now. Either that or coffee.
yo. I'm glad I got her down south, so I'm gonna get her. I got to get her back to her other roots, man. Her
You're in
black roots, man.
Virginia. You're in
Yes,
Virginia.
yeah,
No, no,
yes.
no.
That's the
Go
south.
further south. Go further. Go further.
No, wait, no, 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 no,
Do they
no,
got a
no.
Waffle House? Do they got a Waffle House?
We got a Waffle House. What
I
you mean?
love Waffle House. I love Waffle Houses. Blueberry pancakes with blueberry waffles.
Yeah, you got people talking about the oxtail gravy, but Rob, I appreciate you. We're
All
about to
right,
go get dinner. It's a little bit late, but the live helped me up. Thanks everybody for tuning in, man. I'm still gonna watch the card, but hit the subscribe button, follow my man Rob Acasta at
yo,
I am Alchemy. I am
underscore
underscore
TSW.
alchemy.
Yeah, I am alchemy underscore TSW. Get with me, man.
All right, appreciate
whatever
y'all.
questions I
Love
answer all
y'all.
my DMs.
All right,
Right,
we out.
shout out to Rice and Ketchup.
Wicked, yo. Y'all wicked for that, yo. All right, we out.